Zibai is finally here, and she's one of the most mechanically dense Geo characters we've seen in a long time. In this video, we're not just going to read her abilities off the screen. We're going to break down how her entire kit functions as a system, how defense scaling, lunar phase shift, spirit steed stride, and Lunar-Crystallize all interlock into one very specific gameplay loop. By the end of this breakdown, you'll understand where Zibai's real damage comes from, why her team requirements matter so much, how her rotations are supposed to flow, and which parts of her kit are doing far more work than they look like on paper. If you're confused about whether Zibai is a normal attacker, a reaction DPS, or a burst-focused Geo unit, don't worry. By the end of this video, her role will be very clear. Before touching her skills, it's important to understand what Zibai is fundamentally designed to scale with. Zibai is a defense scaling character. Almost every meaningful damage number in her kit, her enhanced normals, her special skill attacks, and even her burst, scale directly off defense rather than attack. That already separates her from traditional Geo sword characters. At level 10, even her normal attack string shows this intent. While the raw percentages don't look explosive on their own, they're clearly structured for multi-hit sequencing rather than single nukes. Her third normal splits into 2 hits, her charged attack hits twice, and her fourth normal is significantly heavier, which becomes very important later once lunar mechanics come into play. Plunging attacks exist, but just like with many modern stance characters, plunging is not what Zibai is built around. Her real identity only appears once her elemental skill is active. Everything about Zibai revolves around her elemental skill, heaven and earth made manifest, and the state it grants, lunar phase shift. When Zibai activates this skill, she enters lunar phase shift for 15 seconds. During this time, several fundamental rules change. First, all of her normal and charged attacks are converted into Geo damage, and this conversion cannot be overridden by infusions. This is a hard conversion built into her kit. Second, while in this state, Zibai begins generating and managing a special resource called Phase Shift Radiance. This resource is not just a bonus, it directly fuels her most powerful actions. Third, Lunar Phase Shift unlocks her special skill follow-up, Spirit Steed Stride. Spirit Steed Stride is where Zibai's damage spikes occur. At level 10, its first hit scales at over 310% of her defense, and the second hit scales at over 250% defense. These are not incidental numbers. These are deliberate burst points built into her sustained window. Importantly, Spirit Steed Stride consumes phase shift radiance. That means Zibai isn't meant to spam it mindlessly. She's meant to build radiance through her actions, then cash it out for heavy defense-based damage inside the lunar phase shift window. This is the heart of her design. Controlled build-up followed by deliberate release, not constant spamming. Now we need to talk about the mechanic that makes Zibai truly unique, Lunar-Crystallize. Normally, Geo characters trigger standard crystallize reactions, but Zibai doesn't. Through her passive moonsign benediction, Hydro-triggered crystallize reactions are converted into Lunar-Crystallize instead. And Lunar-Crystallize doesn't just exist for flavor. Its damage directly scales with Zibai's defense. For every 100 defense she has, Lunar-Crystallize base damage increases by 0.7%, up to a maximum of 14%. That alone tells you something critical. Zibai is not a Geo DPS that happens to scale on defense. She is a reaction-amplifying defense scaler. This is reinforced by her moonsign interactions. While Zibai is in the party, the team's moonsign level increases by 1, further reinforcing lunar mechanics across the team. And during lunar phase shift, her fourth normal attack gains an additional Geo damage instance that is treated as Lunar-Crystallize reaction damage. That means even her basic attack string feeds into a reaction damage loop. Zibai is not reacting incidentally. Her kit is actively converting normal Geo interactions into a specialized reaction ecosystem built around defense. Compared to her skill, Zibai's elemental burst, Trisphere Eminence, is much more straightforward, but still extremely important. When activated, it deals 2 instances of Geo damage. At level 10, the first hit scales at 228.5% of defense, and the second hit scales at nearly 320% of defense. The crucial detail is this: the second hit is considered Lunar-Crystallize reaction damage. That means her burst is not just raw damage. It directly benefits from every Lunar-Crystallize bonus in her kit, including defense scaling, passives, and constellation effects. With a 15-second cooldown and a 60 energy cost, her burst lines up cleanly with her lunar phase shift uptime. It's not her main engine, but it's a powerful extension of it. This is where Zibai's design fully locks into place. Her Ascension passive, the Sealnik Adeptus Descends, grants her the Moonfall effect whenever she activates her skill or triggers Moondrift Harmony. For 4 seconds, the second hit of Spirit Steed's Stride gains bonus damage equal to 60% of her defense. This turns Spirit Steed's second hit into one of the most valuable damage moments in her entire kit. Timing matters here. Her passive layered peaks pierce the clouds in Force's team structure. Each additional Geo party member increases Zibai's defense by 15%. Each Hydro party member grants her 60 elemental mastery. This immediately explains why Geo-Hydro compositions feel so natural for her. Geo increases her base scaling, while Hydro enhances the reactions she's converting into Lunar-Crystallize. Finally, her Exploration passive restores energy at night while out of combat, reinforcing that her burst uptime is meant to feel comfortable rather than restrictive. Zibai's constellations don't redefine her role, they refine her execution. At C1, she immediately gains 100 phase shift radiance upon entering lunar phase shift and increases the number of Spirit Steed's Stride uses per stance. This dramatically smooths her opening rotation and front-loads her damage. C2 provides a massive team benefit by increasing all nearby party members' Lunar-Crystallize reaction damage while Zibai is in lunar phase shift. This turns her into a reaction amplifier, not just a personal DPS. C4 prevents her normal attack sequence from resetting during lunar phase shift and massively enhances her fourth normal hit after Spirit Steed connects, causing it to deal 250% of the original Lunar-Crystallize reaction damage. This makes her normal string far more dangerous than it appears at base. C6 fully unlocks her resource loop. Phase shift radiance generation increases by 50%, and Spirit Steed's Stride consumes all radiance to massively elevate both its damage and subsequent Lunar-Crystallize reactions for a short window. At this point, Zibai's damage becomes heavily timing-based, rewarding precise execution. When you step back and look at everything together, Zibai's identity becomes very clear. She is an on-field defense-scaling Geo DPS built around controlled stance windows, deliberate resource spending, and reaction amplification through Lunar-Crystallize. She is not a burst-only character, not a shield bot, and not a simple normal attacker. Her damage comes from understanding when to build phase shift radiance, when to cash it out through Spirit Steed Stride, and how to align those moments with Lunar-Crystallize triggers and burst timing. If you enjoy characters that reward planning, execution, and team synergy rather than raw button mashing, Zibai delivers something genuinely different. If this breakdown helped clarify how Zibai actually functions, consider subscribing for more deep dive character analysis like this. More is coming, and I'll see you in the next one.